Hey everybody, so this is the ballet bar that I ended up making for Harper and for Mrs. Hubbard to do their ballet. So here's a quick video that I put together to kind of show you how to do it and show you how I went through the process and gives you some pointers on what to do and the materials you would need to do it. So if you want to try it at home, you can build this yourself. So this was the basic schematic that I started out with. So when I got this idea, or when Mrs. Hubbard brought this to me, she watched a video on Instagram and said, "Hey, can you do this?" And so the video didn't have a whole lot of information and a whole lot of details, but I was able to sort of piece this together and put this really quick schematic and sketch down so I could figure it out. And then I ended up making some adjustments based on what our needs were and what was unique to the big process. The biggest change in all of this is instead of the 10-foot pipes that go across the middle, which you would use or you would see in like a regular dance studio, we actually only used 5-foot pieces because we just didn't need a bar that was that big. It only needed to be long enough for one of them to use at a time, and Randy wouldn't use more than 5 feet of bar. So we made that quick change, but for the most part, we used all of these numbers. I think I used pretty much standard pieces and got all of it from Home Depot. The video I watched said that this should cost about $100, but that video was a little bit old, I think, or they built those a while. This actually costs about $175. So $175, but all pretty easy, standard things to find at Home Depot. So here's a list of the materials that I went out and bought for this project. The wrenches and the PVC shears were something I already had, and so that's why I used those, but there's a lot of different options that'll work. Everything that you see here came pretty much off the rack in Home Depot. The only thing that was unique was I did buy one 10-foot pipe and have them cut it into two 5-foot pipes and had them thread it for me so I would have it ready to go. But other than that, you should be able to find all of these materials pretty easily in your local hardware store. I chose Home Depot just because it was closer to me, but everything was right off the rack and easy to find. So this should be a fairly easy project to get all the materials for. Okay, so this is a video I shot of me putting the ballet bar together. This whole thing took me about 30 minutes. It's sped up so that it shouldn't take that long for you to watch me put it all together. I pretty much just put it together in a circle. And as I did that, it allowed me to make sure that everything screwed tightly together except for one piece. So at the very end of all of this, there's one piece that I just couldn't figure out how to do anything with. There were some options of maybe using something called a union or something called a joint, but none of them really gave me the look that I ended up wanting. So when you get to the very end, there's the very last 1 foot inch or 1 foot 12-inch piece that I put into the ballet bar. What I have to do is I actually have to screw it in as tight as I can get it into the elbow, and then when I align it to the T, I unscrew it from the elbow, which screws it into the T. It sounds a little confusing, I think. As I say that, it sounds more confusing than I think maybe it really is, but basically the threads on the pipe go the same way so that when you screw it into one side, it unscrews it from the other. I spent a lot of time, like a lot of time, trying to find something that would thread the opposite way and screw into both, but I just couldn't find it in the 1-inch steel pipe like I had designed this for. I was able to find some things in 3/4 inch, and if you wanted to do this in 3/4 inch, you could. The only problem I found with 3/4 inch, because I thought about doing this later after I kind of bought all my materials, was that it doesn't change the size of the PVC pipe that can go across the middle of the ballet bar. So you would still have to buy the 1 1/4 inch PVC pipe, but it would be a lot more movable. It would spin a lot more. So the way I design this is you really don't need to have the self-tapping screws. If you cut your PVC to size, exactly what you need, and everything else, measure it out, and you can actually tighten the elbow and the T down on the PVC pipe. But if you wanted to go the 3/4 inch route, there are some different options there. You just have to use the self-tapping screws, and otherwise that PVC bar will move very, very freely. On the 1 inch pipe, it's pretty tight already, and then cinching it down with the T or with the elbow is probably more pressure than you need, and or can give you more pressure than you need, and should prevent anyone from twisting that PVC pipe. But anyway, here it is. This is the bar. This is how I put it together, and little picture here at the end to show you guys what it looks like. So I hope you enjoyed watching this. I hope it was easy enough to follow, and if you need anything, let me know. And yeah, happy dance and good luck.